I want to throw some shade at Chili though.
Okay,
like, I want to say it.
Oh, you would say okay, perfect. Oh yeah, I'm down there. I'm down.
I'd love to have a new enemy.
She's taking over Sierra.
Sierra said, "Whew."
Right. She said, at least I voted for Kamala.
She's like, you might have edged her out.
Right. Damn. Hey, community. Here's what's brewing today.
We catching Prince.
Ooh. Druski versus Erika Kirk.
And Chili is a scrub. So get your cups ready for Minority Report.
Hey, welcome to Minority Report. It's Auntie Carell.
It's Auntie Dewan.
It's Auntie Jarrell. What's up, everybody?
Hey, what's up?
Talk to me, baby.
Hey, how y'all ladies doing today?
I'm good. I was over here clowning already. Just on my trader behavior, just
right.
That's what I was.
It's crazy that you say that because I've been rewatching Traders from like season 1, and I don't really rewatch TV shows like that, but like I don't know, I just feel like it's enough time has passed, and I've kind of forgotten a lot of like the inner workings of who kind of like voted out who on Traders and da 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 da. So I'm watching it, and right before we hopped on, I was getting ready to ask a question because y'all know when I watch reality TV.
It was an edible.
Well, no, I didn't do an edible because you see I'm talking today on this podcast.
That's right. You did say it was before the podcast. You're right. The community thanks you.
And
we thank you.
Right. Because for the new heads, there's only been one episode, and I don't even know.
We gotta fish that one back out.
Yeah, maybe we can repost that, or
we should
right around our anniversary, which is coming up, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But I digress. So I'm watching the Traders, and in my mind, I'm getting to the point where. So when I watch reality TV shows, oftentimes I get very invested emotionally. Okay. So much so that I'm like talking back to the screen, like I'm in the conversation. And community, y'all know what it's like, because I'm sure a lot of y'all feel the same way when you're listening to the podcast. You want to be part of the conversation. It's just that good. But getting back to Traders, in my mind, so I originally asked a question right before we hopped on. I was like, okay, so are y'all competitive? And I pointed over to Drill. I was like, Drill, I know you're competitive.
And I was like, no, I'm not. And I couldn't even hold it for like a beat, half a beat. Just immediately gave up on myself. Couldn't sell that shit worth a damn.
And would you consider yourself, Carell, competitive, especially not in life and shit like that? Because I know you're pretty even Keevan or whatever. But like when it comes to playing games, are you competitive?
Yes.
If the community watched the Drag Race episodes, he already said he'd vote his mama off and be like, bye, look, see you at the finish line.
No, I wouldn't say that. It's just like I wouldn't be crying like that because I know it's a show. It's like, why are we crying? Like, why is we in here crying like this? I'm gonna see you at lunch, girl. But I am and I'm not. Like,
how would you describe your competitive nature when you're playing games? And then I'm going to flip the question over to Darrell because I kind of know.
I could be pretty even. Like if it's just one-on-one, I can control the competitiveness. I get competitive when people don't care. That's what it is. Like if I get the feeling that like if we're doing this, if we're going to do something, let's do it. That's how my mentality is. So if I get the inkling and the feeling that you're just not putting your all, that bothers me. But if I feel like you're putting your all in things like that, then I can take whatever outcome comes. So yes, I want to put my best foot forward. Yeah.
When you say it bothers you, then what does that turn into? Does that mean I'm gonna get your ass out this game, or like?
Are you lighting a fire
Like if
under
it's
them?
one-on-one, yeah, one-on-one. I want to. If I'm going to do it, I want to be the best at it. So the competitive spirit comes out of that. But I am pretty good about also letting the outcome be the outcome. Like I'm not going to be out here throwing tantrums and shit either. Like I'm not that kind of competitive. But I would prefer to win, and I would prefer to be the best out there. Yes.
See, Carell gives me. I'm competitive, but I'm not playing team sports. Like
I feel
like
that.
Carell, I feel like
yes and
Carell
no.
would probably be like, I would like to do
Individual contributor.
exactly, yeah, because I'm gonna do what, because I can be like Carell, like I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. I don't worry about me. I don't know about the rest of y'all.
I can control the narrative. Actually, like I like team sports, but like say like volleyball, like especially like say like when I was still playing volleyball, like in Atlanta, there were certain people that I knew. There were certain people that I knew that I would want on my team because they cared, and I'd rather be on teams like that of folks that care than just to be getting out there willy nilly.
Yeah.
Question:
So we playing or we
does
not?
cared mean does cared equal skill? Because
I think it's effort. I think it's effort.
Effort.
I'm just
It's
asking a
effort.
question.
Yeah, for sure.
This is all leading up to something, by the way.
Yeah,
So
it's
not just
effort
random
for
conversation.
sure.
Okay.
Like it's effort and throwing out their ideas and things like that. Like you get a sense and a feeling if people care and put in the effort. Doesn't mean if your skill level is not the best. If your skill level is boo boo, but you at least playing up to your boo boo standard, then I'm good. But if you're just out there just like then that bothers me because I'm out here putting my effort out here and your ass making our team worse because you don't care about winning or losing. Yeah. I don't like.
We supposed to be playing. We're supposed to be playing, but you not doing that.
You ain't doing shit. You don't care.
That.
You playing with my nerves.
That bothers the fuck out of me.
Playing with my nerves. What you doing?
That's what it is. Yeah. So that's what so it's more competitive in that nature of like just wanting to put your best foot out there to the standard that I think we all could do. If we all play up to that, cool. If we lose, okay, I'm all right with that. And so it's not me being so competitive that I can't see the bigger picture in that regard and then throw a tantrum because we lost and all that shit. I'm not like that at all. No.
Now, how does your competitive nature show up when you're playing games?
It really just depends, honestly, because I'm gonna handle my business. And I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. Team sports, I can care less. Like I'm just gonna give it what I got, and whatever happens, happens. Like I'm not checking about how someone else is doing. I'm not checking about if they're giving enough effort or not. I'm just doing what I do and make sure that I didn't waste my time. Now, I'm going to talk shit about you and I'm going to call your ass out being like, you need to get your shit together. Or, I mean, if the expectations you're supposed to be playing and you're not, I'm going to call you out. Like,
is this before, during, and after, or is this only after?
This is after, and this is the halftime. So it's not while we're playing. Okay, it's any moment.
Regular schedule.
We're back in the locker room.
Right. It's any moment when the clock has stopped. Okay. All right.
Huddle up.
Look,
huddle up, everyone. We have to talk about this.
Look. Okay. That's the moment. That's the moment when. But other than that, and in the meantime, I'm not doing it. Now, I like to play mind games. So, I'm also the one who I don't negatively chirp, but I'm also been like, "Oh, girl, I don't think you meant to do that," or be like, "Oh, you gotta be quicker than that." I see you, like I like to kind of just, get in the head, just just a little bit. But I don't know. Like I think of like things like the traders though. When I'm playing competitive like things like that, when it's against people and you got to vote people off, I play different. I play based off of the energy of the group. I think being such an outgoing and loud person, people automatically always expect me to be someone who is the bad person, right? So I have to fall back and I have to be less of a leader and less of a main person. So then that way I'm not automatically put into the hot seat. I'm typically always
fighting against. She's fighting against her Capricorn energy. That's
really
what she's fighting against.
Dead ass. But like I said, I like to play mind games though. So I have to pit people against each other. I like to, catch people off guard and give me an inch, bitch. I'm gonna run a mile. Just saying.
And remind me again, you played kind of a version of Traders like with your friends before.
I did
right?
2 years ago, and I ate the asses up. I did.
Howdy, y'all.
I sure did. And when I tell you I ate the asses up, they didn't even write my name down once as a possible traitor.
That's right.
Look, Vince came in being like, he's a traitor. Dad. Gone. It has to be true. It's not me. I'm telling y'all, because he came in blaming this person. I'm very good at taking people's actions and making them look sus.
So you and I both really love Traitors as a TV show and as a concept.
Watch this damn show.
I don't watch the show. That's the crazy thing. I love the concept.
Well, he doesn't. We talked about this because he doesn't watch the show, but I've seen all the available seasons that there are able to watch that I'm able to watch in the United States, which is all of the US, all of the UK, all of the Australia, all of the New Zealand, which there's like probably, I don't know, 20 seasons across all of those. It's a lot. It's a lot. So I'm watching.
That's why she was in Bali for 2 months. You had a lot to let go,
baby.
This is after. This was after Bali. This is what am I going to do now that I'm back home? and we're in between seasons. This is the month where like not a lot of stuff going on. So I'm watching season 1 of Traitors, and I'm sitting here watching like Traitors UK, by the way, and I make that distinction because I think people in the UK, London, England, Ireland, Dublin, like over there.
Yeah.
They have a different kind of communication style that is very different than what shows up in the US and what shows up in some of the other Traitors seasons. And for those of you who don't know what Traitors is basically a competition show, kind of like Survivor in a way, but it's basically you have, like a group of people that get together that have to complete missions. And in between the missions, there are people that are called the traitors, who their mission is to kill off the others who aren't traitors and ultimately lie and deceive their way to get to the grand finale. And if they get to the grand finale, they get to steal the pot of money that they're all vying for, which is usually around $250,000. On the flip side, you have the faithful, who are people who aren't the traitors. They can't kill anybody, but they have round table discussions every single night after their missions where they earn money towards this pot, and then they get to vote off people that they think is a traitor. And one of the things that I have an issue with this, well, I have an issue, but also it hooks me in because it's great drama, is that up until about midway through the season, all of the show, all of the people that they're voting off, because you don't have any control over, obviously, as a faithful, you don't have any control over who gets killed because that's done outside of you. But when you get around that round table and you're looking at the person eyeball to eyeball, knee to knee, and you're about to say, Carell, I think you're a traitor. And I'm going to die on this hill because I think you're a traitor. I think you're lying to our faces. I think da-da-da-da-da-da. And they go in like that.
Okay.
But for the first half of it, it's all like vibes. It's never like concrete evidence because as the season is going on, you have to have enough interactions with these people that you've never met before to understand it. Are there mood changes? Are there personality changes? Are there stories lining up? Da-da-da-da-da. You can't tell that off of episode number 1. So I usually am a little bit frustrated in the very beginning. And usually there's somebody that gets something stuck in their ass on one person and they're going after them every single time they have a banishment, which is every single episode. Usually. And they're usually off because as the watcher who the traitors are. Yeah. So I just say all this to say, I am not a competitive person at all.
All this to say,
I want to play a game. I want to play the game. I want to have fun. I'm going to do the best that I can. But it ain't about to get serious. I found myself sitting over here about an hour and a half ago, right before we recorded this podcast, watching this episode of this banishment that they're trying to figure out who they're going to banish for this week. Sometimes most times they get it wrong. Sometimes they get it right. And there's this one girl who is going after this one guy over week after week after week. And this guy ain't a traitor. We all know this as the viewers. But she is like dead set on this guy's. She has no evidence, nothing concrete other than vibes. I think you're a traitor because, well, I just think you've been a traitor from the very beginning. And I'm just like, my reaction, I literally had I paused the TV and I said to this chick who wasn't talking to me, by the way, I said, girl, just vote me off. God damn, you are always on my vote my ass off, because every goddamn week you are coming for me with no, like, I'm going off about this concept of
DeJuan would be such good TV.
Honestly.
We say Jarrell would be good TV. DeJuan would be good TV because when he's done, and it would be the most epic like episode ever.
Literally,
And then DeJuan would be like ghosting everybody after that. Like,
we're not going to be friends. We are not going to be friends. I'm not going to connect with you on social media. I'm not going to be promoting your shit. You voted my ass
it's
off.
Actually her
you
own name on the
liar.
lipstick. That's the one. It's her own name on the lipstick. That's what it is.
She's going to be bending the crab.
I'm going to
vote myself off. Damn.
Yeah.
I'm going home.
It just, because in my mind, I'm wasting my breath. I'm wasting my breath defending myself when all you have to go off of is your vibes, is what you're feeling, but you're not bringing any concrete evidence or anything to the table that would really suggest like I'm playing. Baby,
I love that episode 1 and the season 1 got you this upset. And this season 1 is so long ago, y'all. Mind y'all, this is like at least 6 years ago. Okay.
Yeah, it's before pandemic.
It's before pandemic.
It's before the pandemic.
So the fact being that this season 1 got him this riled up, I'm like, this is why I can't watch.
I was so surprised at my reaction to this, because usually I can keep myself kind of contained or whatever, but like I'm so engrossed in this, and it was just like, I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but there was something about like when I was younger, like my parents instilled in me, like, don't lie. You don't want to be known as a liar.
As a liar, yeah.
Like that was like, don't lie on people in school. You don't want to be known as a liar because you want to be like, the core of your character is supposed to be someone that is trustworthy, that is honest, that is, doing the right things. And then, and then you're putting your best foot forward. But
so it'd be hard for you to go on a show like this then.
No.
She said, I didn't say I couldn't lie.
She said that was growing up. He said that was growing up.
She said I was taught not to lie. She said I didn't say I didn't lie.
Baby, because honey.
I know that's right.
That closet was a nightmare for about 15 of my goddamn earliest years. So she knows how to spin.
She knows how to, right. I know that is right.
I would absolutely love to go on the show Traders. I know we talked about this, Jarrell, because I think you applied as well. No,
I did apply.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear back?
No,
I forgot about that.
No.
I didn't either. I applied when I was in
I think it was Spain, because it was like the fall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Back in like October.
And so I haven't heard anything back on that. But like I would love to be on a show like that. Whether I kind of want to be a faithful, because I would love to just have the crash out moments, during the banishment segments. But I also would love to be like, and this is what I put in my little, like, like my little video for this show is like, I would love to be a faithful that gets converted. I would love to be like a faithful at the very beginning and get converted about midway through, so that, like I can just come in after like I then built the credibility with everybody that I am a faithful, but then I can just come in and murder some people.
I feel bad for anyone who goes in as a traitor. Like, I feel if you go in as a trader, like you should already have some money, because you are playing 2 games. Like you're the amount of deceiving and the amount of like eggshells you have to walk on, because one, backpedal and people go, oh, got your ass, So you're playing a game within a game as a trader. So like when I went, I was very, honestly, I was like, I don't want to do this. I really don't want to do this. I'm not. This is too much actual fucking work. I don't really care about this. But like I said, they said it was their birthday, and I was like, oh, but my birthday was 2 weeks ago, so I thought it was all of our birthday. oh, well, then I'm going to win your birthday weekend. It's your game, so I'm going to win your game. And that's how I gave a damn. So I really still don't give a damn.
Competitive spirit.
But, you know.
But you just like to win.
Look, my birthday was in January, too.
This is true.
Right.
This is true.
No, I'm kidding. I love my girls. Honestly.
Yeah.
They made it fun. They made
don't
it fun.
slide on the Capricorn during their birthday month. That's what you don't do.
They made it a lot of fun. But yeah, I will say though, like I don't think I would want to be a trader. I would want to be a faithful. I think it's just there's a level of just kind of peace and fun that just allows you to just really sit back and just be like, okay, now who actually is it? Versus trying to figure out who you're gonna throw on the bus and how can you break these people up. It's a lot. Yeah.
It is a lot. And for people who haven't watched the show, like I'm not really into like the competition part of it, like where they're doing like the little missions and they're gaining
you like
money.
the banishments.
I like
look, this is the wine. That's how she watching
Right.
these episodes. This is how she watching these seasons. Get to the round table. Look. She do the math. She does the math to see who ain't at the round table. Okay, that person was killed off. Mm-hmm.
She giving Amara a bath, a hairdo, and then she put Amara down when it gets to good stuff.
Banishment, because that's when it goes down. I just feel like for people who like I just came off of watching Game of Thrones, right? While I was in Bali, every single night, you know, Rafa and I would just watch Game of Thrones, like 1 or 2 episodes a night and whatnot. And we started from season 1 and went all the way through to the very end and whatnot. And one of the things that I like about that show is kind of like the psychological aspect of it, the psychology of, you know, of politics in a way. Yes, you know, the drama, the sex, all that stuff is like great, but like I really connect with the drama, and that's really the psychology behind how people are playing these kind of mind games.
Am I the drama?
And so,
yes, girl.
So like for people who like that kind of stuff, but haven't like jumped on the traders chain, like it is just, it's good TV and it's a good game. Like that's a game that like, that can probably make and break, quite frankly. Can make and break relationships, especially if you have really close relationships, because it calls into question who could be just like in your face every single day, lying through their teeth, and you have no idea.
I will say my friends, I know my friends felt some kind of way afterwards. I could see it. I could see it about how it took them probably a good like maybe 8 months. A good 8 months for them to like start kind of like getting back to how things
trusting your ass again.
But I think what they realize that like with this group of friends, they're not the friends that I play sports with. They're the friends that I go out and travel with. So they haven't seen that competitive side of me. So I think they saw a whole other side of me. They were like,
they haven't signed the consent.
They were like, hold on, I didn't sign up for this. Exactly. They were like, wait. So at that point, I think that's when they started realizing, okay, we got to Jarrell.
We gotta keep eye on this.
Okay.
She's over here playing my games.
Yeah, no, I think I do well on those kind of shows just because, like, again, in those situations, I'm good at separating life from like TV,
like the game versus the relationship.
Right. Yeah. Like, yes, I might get like my feelings here and there, but like I'm pretty good in and obviously, I mean, I say that it's not like I have those moments all the time, so maybe it would change when like the stakes are really high, but I'm pretty good at separating stuff like that.
And see, I'm bad at bringing personal shit in. See, I think that's what I was wrong at, and I have to have accountability. You know, I was using personal moments.
That's why your mama. Didn't love you when you were 3 years old and she was doing crack cocaine.
I was using personal moments. I ain't gonna lie. I was playing a little low. I was playing a little low to win, but
that's funny.
Yeah. I told you that was the first time I did coke ever. We're doing that game. Yeah, that's the first and only time I've ever done it.
Coca-Cola, right?
I had never done it before. I had never done it before. And they knew I had it.
Well,
they knew I had it. And they were like, because we had a traders group chat, and they were like, Jarrell.
So they said, we want more?
No. So what happened was there was a traders group chat, and the traders group chat was like, hey, Jarrell, they suspect you. And I was like, fuck. So I was like, well, I'm going to go do a little booger sugar with a friend, and
I'm gonna take the edge off.
And I did, and I blamed the whole entire first day on that experience.
Just for the win.
Just for the win.
Just for the win.
So when people question anything, I was like, I don't know. I'm experiencing these new things before. I don't know what's going on. I'm just here for the good time and the good vibes.
I would honestly I would love to play a version of Traitors, like first of all with you two, and with a bunch of other friends or community members, because I feel like that would unlock a lot of
anarchy.
Yes, exactly. A lot of chaos. A lot of just chaos in a game format. Not in a negative kind of way. It's kind of like playing Uno as Black people.
Well, I mean, but let's be honest though. A lot of Black people don't play a lot of these other games though as well. Because I mean, like Kid Fury posted that video a couple of days ago about Black people for game night. We can play more than spades. We can play more than Unos. We can play more than dominoes. We can play other things. Like, be open to the idea of playing other games. But here's the thing, though.
They're just not as fun.
We don't want to.
see, y'all is the problem. Y'all is the problem. See, this is what he was talking about. This is what he's talking about.
We can't.
Don't nobody want to read. Y'all don't want to read the rules. Y'all want to pay attention to how the game goes. And he also made a good point. He was like, Black people told Uno how to actually play the game Uno.
And did. We improved it.
I mean, certain games, and I feel like Traitors is one of those. I just don't see our people really get into Traitors because it's just.
He's like, Traitors. We got Traitors at home.
No, because
it should be called Trade.
Right.
That's some after dark shit. That's some after dark shit. That's some after dark shit. Yeah, but that was a good conversation.
And the lights off.
Yeah.
Have y'all, speaking of TV, and I know this is so off the list, have y'all been watching Paradise?
No, but everyone's been fucking talking about it. I heard it's really good.
That's what I've heard as well.
Yeah.
Oh, so fucking good. Yeah. You
what do you like about it? Because for the community,
I like the second season has totally. Right, I don't watch TV
because
like
Carell does not watch TV.
I don't.
She's too booked and too busy.
Not even that.
She just
to pierce her eyeballs over to the TV screen. She doesn't watch TV.
I've never been like
for
that.
something to capture your attention, what is it about the show for you?
I like shows that make me think and be like, I like to try to figure out shows. And this is one of those kind of shows you were like, wait, what the fuck is going on? Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, that's not what I thought this was. And so trying to figure that shit out. And then I like going on YouTube after and seeing like the breakdowns and stuff like that. It's the nerd. It's the nerd in me. Fucking love that kind of shit. And Corey, every time we either watch that or watch some kind of like Marvel movie or something like that, he knows I'm going to go to YouTube and watch the breakdown. He's like, oh, Carell's going to go watch the breakdown now. He's like, I'm going to take a bath. And Paradise is like that, just to kind of see what other people, did you catch that? Did you not? Ooh. And the second season finale just was last week. And so watching that, the second season completely flipped the show on its head, where you're just like, this is not what I thought this show was. And I love shit like that. Okay. Yeah. So it's just well acted, it's well
Let me add
written.
This on list.
It's good. It's 2 seasons. Each season's 8 episodes. Yeah.
Okay.
It's
I'm gonna check it out.
Very good. Very, very good.
All right.
Yeah. And even this, like it's balls to the wall every fucking episode where you're just like, golly, what the fuck is going on? Damn. It was stressing Corey out. He's like, oh my God, this is too much. He's like, this is too much for me.
I won't be watching. It's on Hulu and Disney Plus.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, you said you won't watch it?
I won't watch it. I'm not doing Disney. I'm not doing Hulu. So
why not? What they did?
All the political.
We were supposed to.
I'm not trying to bring the mood down.
Oh, we're supposed to ban it.
Yeah,
well, damn, I'm glad I watched the
ship.
before I heard this.
Yeah, Carell. To be fair, back in the fall, we said we weren't. So We said, we flat out said we wasn't going to. So
okay,
because we also talked about how they own ESPN as well too. We're like, damn, for sports, that's just we said we wasn't going to do it. So.
And then they had the absolute nerve to go up on their prices on everybody. Like, no, I'm not doing it. No.
Well, Netflix just went up too. I'm like, if y'all go up one more fucking time.
Well, that's why I pay on a yearly basis.
right. Go ahead and get out my bank account. I'm gonna see that charge pop up.
Take that $1.95 with it. Yeah.
You're right.
Look.
You're right. I'm just talking shit, but you're right. You're right. I'm gonna just have to sell my body one more time to pay for it. You're right. You're right. But damn, you should watch it though. Make a little rebuttal for the show. It's one of the better shows I've seen in a minute.
If I can download it on like Apple TV or something and just buy it, then I'll watch it. But if I can't,
it's Sterling K. Brown. He's just a great actor to me, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Agreed.
He's like one of my favorite actors of just honestly,
I love him and his wife.
He is like an underrated actor because the level of like intensity he gives this a very similar. What's that guy's name? Giancarlo, the black kind of Latin guy that plays a villain in almost everything, every role. His name is Giancarlo something.
Is he in Marvel as well? Is that who
he's been in Marvel? He was in School Days from back in the day. He was in Breaking Bad as the chicken shack.
He's an actor
with the mustache.
Yeah.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Giancarlo, something. Mm-hmm. I can't remember his last name, but he has. You know how he has a certain kind of energy that he brings to every single role. That's how Sterling K. Brown to me delivers when he's in any kind.
Wait, John Carlos is the track and field guy.
No.
John Carlos is the hand up.
Let's see.
Unless they both call John Carlos.
That's John Carlos. No. That's Carl Johnson.
Alexa?
That's Carl Johnson, right?
Oh, there is a Carl
Johnson. That's Carl
Johnson.
Johnson.
Carl
Lewis. There you go. Carl Lewis is that one.
That's what you think about. Yeah. What's his name?
Giancarlo.
Yeah.
Something.
Giancarlo. Okay, so there's two. Well, there is a John Carlos, the track and field actor, did the black glove and shit. Anyway, but that's exactly what I was thinking.
Giancarlo Esposito is his name.
There we go.
I was like, because I always look at his face and I'm like, you don't look like an Esposito. That's an Italian name, but whatever. But he's like mixed race and da 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 da. But he just gives me that kind of like intensity, in his character. Sterling K. Brown is just like just always he emotes with every part of like his body, his face, and it's just like he's just a phenomenon.
It's like every role that he's in, you think you're not gonna be able to see him in another role because it's so defined in that. Mm-hmm. And he did it again in this role. You're like, oh damn, I don't forgot about This Is Us. I don't forgot about like all these other roles. I'm like, motherfucker, you this new character now. And his wife has a role in this second season too, so it's cute to kind of see that.
That makes sense. I've been seeing them in the press a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because she does a podcast. After each episode this season, she hosts the podcast of that too. So yeah, they're a very cute couple. But yeah, it's one of the better shows I've watched in a minute. It's up there, not quite up there with Watchmen because that might be one of my favorite shows of all time. But like, it's in that caliber where you're like, ooh, okay, this is some new shit that I haven't thought about. You know, yeah. And I don't want to say anything because it's just gonna spoil shit. And like the first season to the second season, just the nuance of it, you're like, damn, I did not predict that. And I like when I can't predict shit.
I can watch it on Apple TV. I just looked it up.
There we go. She's about to
go ahead and get
community, so. I'm not watching no TV shows, so I'm all right. I'll save it for Drag Race on the other episode. So that's all I'm watching.
Yeah, and by the way, if you haven't seen the Drag Race stuff that's already out there, we separated now because we just be taking too long for talking about something like, let's separate that out there. I know. And community, I'm so glad that I told Dewan to hold this for this episode because we would have had a whole last episode before the episode if we did. Yeah. That's how it happens.
Okay.
Now this last 30 minutes would have been before we even push record normally. Right. So anyway.
All right. What we got on the list?
Oh, wait, before we dive into that, we need to remind our community that we've got our 7th year anniversary. Yes. 7 years. That's 7 years on April the 15th at 8:30 Eastern and 5:30 Pacific time. We're going to be hosting a live show, so we'll send out the details the day of, but please mark your calendars and join us. We want you to bring your wigs, bring your cocktails, bring your Ask Your Aunties, bring your attitude, bring your spirit of just having fun with your aunties, because we are so excited to celebrate our 7 years of just gabbing just like this with y'all.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. And obviously we know you, like, we can't see y'all, and we still just need to find a way for like it to be a live where it's like a virtual live for everybody. But until that day, till they figure that shit out, like, we want to see you like chatting in the group and everything, and asking us questions and chiming in, be like, no, y'all wrong, and all that stuff. Like, we love that energy. So, and then also, if you want to potentially maybe kind of pop in and out, we did that last year, which was kind of fun. Yeah. Let us know, DM us, and we'll send you a link. We'll send you a link to try to get in for a couple minutes to ask us a question live or something like that. We want this to be as collaborative as possible. And
honestly, if we typically extend that to a lot of our OGs, the people that have been rocking with us for like a number of years. But like, if you've been, hearing us for the very first time, you just stumbled on our podcast, you're just catching up on who Minority Report is, this is a great opportunity to meet the community and to meet us. So, the invitation is open. We want to make sure that this is fun and we're having a good time.
For sure. So it will definitely be on YouTube. We'll see if it lets me track it to Instagram and Spotify and all that. So I got to check all the details this year because it changes every year, it feels like. But for sure, it'll be live on YouTube. So start there first. And then the rest of it, we'll see if it follows. But 7 years, y'all. That's crazy. And I still got to debate if I'm getting me a new wig or not. I haven't made it to the wig store yet.
I'll return two. Only because they require too much styling. And I'm not interested in that. Like, I have my little doll stuff and whatnot. I don't mind doing that every once in a while, but
did your wig look like Amber Riley's wig that she posted on the internet? Hey, when I tell you, I love us so much. She said, "Y'all think I can say this?" I'm just saying, look, I just played Angie down a little bit. When I tell y'all, we jumped in them comments so quick. Child, I love us. I absolutely love us. And she said, "Y'all not about to bully me. Look, there's more to come. Here the wig, y'all. I still got it."
Yeah, that's just this one that we just know it ain't no saving. You just want to wear that. You just want to wear that to wear it.
I don't know. It reminded me of the girl though who tried to do the Tiana Taylor. and
she was like, and they had to actually get Tiana Taylor's team to come and do it.
But that was a cute story.
That was
like
the
way that it ended. Like, it was
super cute story.
You felt it for her because like we all saw that video where she was trying to do them little pin curls and
it's like, baby, buddy, you gotta be a professional.
Them follicles were breathing. They were.
And shout out to Tiana for doing that.
I
too.
love
like,
that.
Like, hey, that's fun. Let's do this.
That was sweet.
I love shit like that. But all right, well, community, we know there's a few hot topics that y'all been asking us to talk about, and some of them hot off the press this week and all that stuff. So we're gonna do an Aunties Do You Give a Damn, and we're gonna start here. Aunties, do you give a damn about this catch a print trend that's been going around? Have you heard about this?
What is this?
Oh, you haven't been hearing? Oh, it's catch a dick print.
Yeah.
Oh my God, was that me on internet today, or is it you just catching somebody with this? Explain it.
So it started with this guy. Well, it started with someone saying they wish there was a way to, if like it was as easy as men like looking at girls' boobs and shit like that, being able to look at guys' dicks and determine their size and like objectifying them and things like that. Right. So it started there, right. And this gay guy was like, "Hold on, there is a way to do this, and here's the way." And he's kind of put them into different tiers of like type. It was type A, type B, and type D. So like type A is like where the dick is kind of like high and tight, and like you can kind of see by the fold of the pant, like if it kind of bulges a little higher in the pant, that's a type A. So it's like maybe a grower, maybe he just has a smaller dick and things like that. Type B is like it's a little lower in the rise of the jean or the pant. And he kind of just, and literally he had like a diagram and everything.
The weight of it sits a little bit lower in the crotch area.
He had like a diagram and everything, girl. It's hilarious. And this is like 50 million views. Like, it's not just like 1 million views. Like, this shit is so crazy right now. So he's kind of outlined where that is. And then he was giving examples of celebrities and shit. Like, see, this is a type B celebrity, and this is a type A celebrity. And then there's type D where it lays flat because it hangs so low that it doesn't really bulge out, that it's usually maybe to the side or to the, you know, one side of the pant, things like that, and show where to look at and all that stuff in the pant for type D dudes. And so ever since this has gone viral, there's been other clips that have gone viral of people saying, oh, I've been objectifying men ever since I saw this thing, and here's how I saw this, and da-da-da-da, and calling people like, oh, that's a type B dude. Like, so people are getting like upset, be like, hold on, you call me type A, that ain't the situation, I'm a grower, and all this. Like, it's taking the internet by storm right now. It's wild. It's kind of dope, though.
It's literally all over the place at the moment.
But the gay community is like, bitch, y'all didn't know this? Right. Right. It's on Jawan and I's side of the internet, I guess.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Because you was nodding yes, you saw it too.
I did. I'm just not as bold. I'm just not as bold to like that shit. I'll be scrolling, I'll be seeing something and be like, I am corralled.
Right.
I'm just standing right there.
It'd be me, it'd be our friend Josh, and it'd be Terrell. Yep. And Zay. I'll be seeing Zay and Chino too.
Oh my God.
I'm like, yup.
Zay and Chino, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we put y'all business out there too. That's how I know.
Sorry, y'all.
This how I know I've been working 2 jobs. I ain't seen anything like that. It's damn.
It's everywhere. So anyway,
it's everywhere.
It's cool. It's a funny kind of thing, obviously, but it just makes people be like, oh shit. Hold on, I need to pay attention to my pants or something out there. It is what it is. It's gonna lay where it lay. Yeah. But the only thing that they did not address is it depends sometimes what underwear you're wearing. Like if you're wearing a certain type of brief, or if you're wearing like boxer, loose boxers,
or true boxers, like true boxers.
Right, exactly. Like
hit and sit.
Things kind of lay a little different in each situation.
They squoze to a certain kind of side and position that might not be necessarily.
I mean, also too the material as well too makes a lot of a difference, because I know so that's why I said to me, because I didn't realize really until this photo, and I noticed when I posted it on Instagram today. But like
he said, I knew what I was doing.
But I didn't realize until today at the gym though that like the shorts that I have on today be put my business out there. And I normally don't wear them because they're a little longer than I normally like them, you know. But
that's why.
That's why I didn't wear the shorts. And you know when the pockets are starting to come apart in between the seams as well. So I wore them today just to wear them. And I was sitting there. I was like, "Oh, what's that over there?"
Catch a print. Catch a print, bitch.
Sure noticed.
Throw a print. She said, "Throw a print."
I'm out here throwing print.
You gonna see what I'm talking about?
I did.
We ain't throwing ass this summer. We're throwing print this summer.
Talking about that on the internet? Oh, I had no idea.
Let me tell you,
baby.
You know, like
print all
you ever like catch yourself and you're like, oh, it's doing a little, and you adjust, right? You adjust, and you're like, okay, I adjust. It's gonna hide, and I adjust, and I was like, it ain't going nowhere. It's still there. It's still there, baby. So
she said, "Call me Xerox, baby, because I'm printing."
So,
baby.
So I put it on the internet. I was like, "Well, the whole gym got to see it already, so
might as well let
I
everybody else
care.
see.
Might as well."
I don't care.
Someone
said, "She said I'm married now. I can do whatever the fuck I want."
Look, I got one DM, and someone was like, "I want to be that sink." I was like, "Oh." Goddamn,
made me sweat, made me water.
I was like,
crazy.
Yo, calm down.
But you said, you welcome.
Okay.
Welcome.
Okay.
He said, I'll watch them bitches right when I got home. I'm wearing them shits tomorrow.
She said, this picture's going on my green circle.
I know that's right.
I mean, it makes sense why my gym crush actually came and talked to me today. So
there you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Hook, line, and sinker.
Mm-hmm.
Throwing print also.
Right in front of his girl. I was like, oh.
It is what it is. But the gym be the best though. Be looking there. I be like, Ooh, ooh. Oh, type A.
See, here's the thing. To your point, though, a lot of men at the gym be wearing compression shorts. They wear compression shorts, so that's all you gonna see really is type A. It's just, that's right.
And see, I don't really go to I go to a trainer, so I don't really go to a gym, so I don't see other people.
Your trainer cute though. He is.
I ain't trying to hear all that. I ain't trying to hear all that.
What am I supposed to? That's like my little brother. You know, like
he ain't my brother.
He ain't my brother. Right.
Exactly.
I'm just saying, shit. He said my brother and me. Okay, that's a TV show. I ain't on that cast. Anyway, so I give a damn about catching the print because the gays have been doing that for eons.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That is a skill that is honed. That is a skill that is honed from like going to the department store and picking out your own underwear.
I mean, it's another reason why so many of us gays wear Speedos. I mean, part of it is because of the print.
1,000%.
So
1,000%.
Street's just catching on. It's crazy because like all the stuff they're catching on to, like we did like 15, 20 years ago. And we moved on.
Like open marriages, threesomes, all that stuff. I'm like, y'all, come on.
Moved on.
But, good for them. Exactly. Good for them.
We've evolved.
Good for them.
Right. Being good stewards to the community, looking out for your neighbor. They need to catch on to that. Anyway,
that's like white people catching on to like black slang like 15 years later. It's like, or black music for that matter. Like, oh, now you like Juvenile? But where?
Huh? Oh, now you like Juvenile, huh?
But when it was out, it was black people's music. You don't understand this. Oh, okay, but now you like it? Okay. To the windows, to the wall.
Now country.
Play that song play that song in an old folks' home and watch them old motherfuckers. Their arthritis get cured in a heartbeat.
A word. Got 808s in country music. Aunties, do you give a damn about this Druski versus Erika Kirk situation that's going on? And for those that don't know what's happened here is Druski's a comedian, a black comedian. And he kind of came out almost like a white chick skit where he was like, this how conservative women in America be coming out looking like. And he came out and he looked like Erika Kirk. So much so that Grok, the AI on Twitter, is the one that kind of almost flamed more, or put more fuel in the flame here because it misidentified him as Erika Kirk. And that made all the conservatives go crazy. And
as of yesterday, Erika Kirk had reached out on Twitter to Elon Musk saying this is an abomination. This shouldn't be allowed to go on. And Elon Musk, which I'm not a fan, so let's be clear, but he came out and said, pump your brakes, sis.
Good.
If it got 150 million views, that's because people want to watch that shit. I said, burn that bitch.
Seriously. Like, whole sit your ass down. But it was true. That's how they do be looking. And then, have you seen the one where it's like there's an actual white woman down in Florida that just won something, or it was like a young Republicans convention, and she looked like this.
She said, "I'm not Lizzo." I just want everybody to know. She went to her social media and said, I just want everybody to know I am not Druski. I don't know this man. I'm just my own person living my life in Florida.
That shit killed.
I give a damn. I think it's funny as hell. Like I get like the whole blackface, whiteface, like politics of it. I get that argument. But at the end of the day, comedy is fucking comedy. And I'd rather see it coming from our community than from y'all's.
Period. Troll the shit out of them because that's all they be doing to everybody else. Troll the shit out of them. And
I want to know who his makeup artist was to pull this look together because
I don't know.
The way he looked exactly like her, from like the eyebrow shape to the color of the eyes to like the nose, or like baby. And then just to see him walking around with his Ninja Turtle body, it kills me.
Not the Ninja Turtle body, though.
But it's true. Baby, when he came out with them fireworks going, and he was just like...
That shit was funny.
Hilarious. hilarious.
And I'm like, the amount of people that have seen it, it just put him into another echelon. Like he's talk about a come up over the last few years. Insanity. And it just put him in another echelon. So he like, hey, thank y'all.
His level of comedy is kind of like based in trolling, which is kind of interesting because you don't really see, like, it's comical, but you're just like, wait, but is this real? It's like his whole kind of like Flavor of Love version of Flavor of Love, it's love competition or whatever, where, the whole thing was like, there was this very mass presenting lesbian who had never been with a guy and da-da-da-da-da. And it's so produced, but it's just like, you watch these things and you're like, wait, is this for real? Right. Or is this like, are they just like making fun of the other reality shows that are like this? And it's just like that kind of humor is it's so refreshing to see.
Yeah. All right, aunties, do you give a damn that it sounds like Chili from TLC might be a MAGA girl?
Ain't no mic to that. Baby, the way them receipts have came out, people have made time to be like, And the funny part about it is not to bounce, just go chasing waterfalls.
Like, damn, she gotta go.
Now, girl, what about your friends?
Right,
okay?
Damn. Will they stand their ground? Will they mess around? Will they let you down? Yes.
Yeah, and she was on. They were singing about her. It's funny. People were also trying to be like, well, that's because she dating that white boy. And the way the internet was like, this is pre-white boy.
The receipt.
This is pre-white boy.
This is timeline.
And I was like, ugh. And then also like
relationship with
Joey Lawrence, but one of the Lawrence brothers. Matthew Lawrence.
Yeah, that's what.
It's funny because like even an audio of T-Boz doing a radio interview resurfaced from 2017 when 2016 when she said my bandmate,
group mate.
She said my bandmate voted for him, and I was like,
and kind of she snuck it in there, and the conversation kept going. I was like, oh no.
But what's crazy about that is like you did some shit like she said my bandmate. She didn't even say my friend. She said my bandmate. Yeah. That's who we is at this point.
What's crazy is like, okay, personal politics aside, as a public figure, the shit you do in the dark is going to come to the light. And it's just like, damn, like the Republicans got some sneaky motherfucking bastards going through everybody's like history, because part of me is just like, this and the whole Nick Cannon kind of like, you combine them together, it's kind of like smoke screen, just like distraction politics. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, does it matter to me at the end of the day whether or not Chili of TLC that hasn't had a new song in 45 goddamn years, that I care what she voted? She ain't Beyonce. So do I give a damn about that? Not really. But is it dominating the airways? Is it getting traction? Yeah, because we had Nicki first. Now we got Chili, and we got Nick Cannon being wrapped in there with the Amber Rose crew. All the these D-list black celebrities. Like these that ain't got no kind of pull, like, but they're going over there. Okay.
Yeah.
When do we get the draft picks? When do we get to pick who we want out of their team from their team that we get to pull over here? Because
and we drafted Tiger Woods years ago, but we need to give him back too. But it's like, I'm kind of with you. It's like, I don't give a damn, but I kind of give a damn. I give a damn solely just because it hurts my teenage heart, because I love this.
She told you, don't go chasing waterfalls. Stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to.
She needed to look herself in the mirror and say that shit. Sit your ass down.
She said, I got me a white man now.
I guess. I saw something that said that's why Usher dumped her years ago.
Look, I was like, dang, I need to apologize for Usher. I need to apologize to Usher, being mad at Usher. Being like, why ain't you know? Like, I would have left her ass too. I would have done it too.
It's like, damn. But it's like I don't give a damn, because it's another distraction. It's like, but it's like, damn, Chili, like, come on, you from like Atlanta, like, come, you know better than this. Like, you need to go back to Atlanta. You need to go sit down.
You know who's really upset about this?
T-Boss.
Right, because they just announced that concert. Right.
And
Salt and Pepper.
And Salt and Pepper.
Right. No, because Pepper just jumped into the bandwagon. Apparently today, was it Salt? No, Pepper just jumped into the bandwagon supporting Chili. So now she's catching the smoke.
Well, I mean, supporting Chili and supporting Trump are two different things. Like,
right, two different things,
I give
both.
He said both.
Both.
If
so with the F.
I have sympathy for En Vogue out of that too. I'm just like, you know, like,
it's like, what is
I would go.
And the thing is, Core and I were like, damn, let's go to that concert. We kind of want to see it. I still kind of low-key want to. I still kind of low-key want to.
I'm not, look.
Just a little bit.
Granted.
I got a little bit.
I mean, to be fair, most of their money that they still make is based off of the actual concerts. So to me, I'm like, I'm not going to make sure, but you know, I get it. It's just, it's poor timing. I think honestly,
it's very.
I think honestly, if they weren't touring, I probably wouldn't care as much. Now knowing that this is an opportunity for her to probably pocket a good, decent amount of money from a tour, because that's where artists make most of their money. Okay, mind you, is on tour. The idea of her taking that money and then giving it to someone so hateful and who's doing such hideous stuff to her, that just don't sit well with me. And I think that's the part that I have the most, you know, like, problem with. Like, I can give a damn whether or not that she care about Trump or MAGA or whatever the case is, because, you know, she gonna do what she want to do. And, you know, there are plenty of other Black folks, you know, who own that train as well too, right? So I'm not going to be like, she the only one out there doing that shit, right? But what I do care about the fact is there's so many of our people who are directly affected by this administration, and they are the people who are actually going to the concert, and you're actively working against the people who are going to be sitting in the audience cheering against you. Yeah. I don't sit well with that. You want to vote for
Uncle Tom.
You want to vote for someone who can give a rat's ass about the people who allow for you to have what you have, essentially, because you ain't nothing without the people. And I think a lot of celebrities forget that. Like, you like, we as the public, if we really came to collective and were like, we done fucking with somebody, they would be done. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
R. Kelly.
Well, nah, because there's
Bill Cosby.
Nah, because you know, niggas. So again, I mean, as a collective,
step in the name of love. Right, they still stepping. They said we outside this summer again.
So I 1000% agree with you, Jarrell, on that. I think the thing that's so frustrating for me, just as a member of the Black community, is that you're allowed to have whatever personal beliefs that you want, but when you start using your platform, to actively promote policies, issues, concepts, people, whatever, that specifically fight against our own community, that's where I take issue. And for her to be like, oh, I'm not really tech savvy. I don't really know how this stuff really works. And I really wasn't save the bullshit excuses. Okay, yeah, you know what? I kind of felt I'd rather have people own their shit instead of try to play it out girl. Yeah, you ain't have a hit record in 20 some odd years. You haven't been hot since you were 20. So to tell me or anyone else that you don't know how Instagram works, you don't know that, I must have slipped my finger and touched the repost on this and that. Girl, what was going on with your algorithm that showed up? Because that kind of shit don't show up in my algorithm.
Yeah, that ain't on my neck of the woods of the internet.
No,
mine is just catch a print.
She said, "My finger slipped on that. My finger slipped on that one."
Oh, there. Whoop. Zooming in, ho. Type D.
My D.
baby, it'll work. But community, if you see on my stories that I'm at the concert this summer, just give me an element of grace. I'm sorry, y'all. I want to see En Vogue.
Let her have it. Get
from
ass.
them little $55. It ain't that much money going to her pocket now. Okay.
$55 split between
8 ways,
25 people.
9 ways. I'm just saying, so just give me an element of grace. Aunties, do you give a damn that EJ Johnson be dating straight men's?
I'm still trying to. First of all, no, I don't give a damn.
But what you trying to figure out?
Second of all, I'm trying to figure out why is this a story?
That was what.
Why is this? Because we ain't heard shit about Eli. We ain't seen shit from Eli. He been out there living his little whatever. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. Beautiful gowns. So like we haven't like he has not. They have not been on anybody's radar for at least the last 6 years, at least. Until
he came out this old little Paris Fashion Week this year, and here she is.
Now all of a sudden, they are everywhere. Yeah. Forget the story. The story's out there, but like, I don't know about you, but like my feed, I see them all the time.
Same here.
Taking pictures with this person, doing something, people talking about, and it's like, I personally don't give a damn about what he said. That is a level of wealth and inoculation and bubbleation from the real world that is not equitable to my life experience. And forget, I understand like the words that he said about I want to like this whole kind of like adjacency of straightness and da-da-da-da-da. But at the end of the day, this is a person that whatever they do is not going to affect anything that's going on in any of our lives at all, except for the fact that our feeds are being pummeled and inundated with images of this person that we don't give a damn about. So why is this a story? That's what I'm trying to figure out, because it don't have teeth. Not on trans visibility day. Not at all.
Yeah. Again, I've been working 2 jobs, so I ain't seen shit. I ain't been nowhere on my algorithm. I don't even know what my algorithm really look like, if I'm being honest. So I don't really give a damn. And I don't like, date whoever you want to, fuck whoever you want to. I don't give a damn. Good for you, EJ. Dick them down or get dick down, whatever it is. Do what you do. I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't care.
Yeah, I don't know if I give a damn either. Like, I see why it kind of blew up the way it did, just because you don't see a lot of Black, queer, non-binary folks of that like wealth and privilege and visibility, quite frankly, talking that candidly and open to their situation. And so in one regard, I was like, okay, good for them for speaking up on their situation. I don't really care who you're sleeping with. Good for you. Find it. I felt maybe a little bad that they felt that they couldn't go to gay spaces because the gay community is not looking for folks like them to date and to screw and things like that. So if that's your situation, I feel a little bad. I don't know how much of it is like,
that's not believable.
You're so wealthy
believable.
that you can't.
It is believable. It's very believable. The community there is a lot of internal homophobia within our community, even just a lot of queer folks and gay folks who don't even recognize Trans Visibility Day today. Like, to see someone like EJ who is so much more feminine, etc. Like, there are those people. Like, that's a very believable. I mean, there's still people on apps being like, no femmes, no Blacks, no Asians. Like, that's been around forever. That's not a statement that's not still true today.
I feel bad that they have to like date quote unquote straight men or down low men or whatever it is, like, because that could be very problematic and scary. Quite frankly,
it's not sustainable.
It's not sustainable. Yeah. But it's just
like the idea that somebody who's like what's his name, EJ.
Their name is EJ. Yes.
So someone who has that level of influence and privilege and notoriety since they've been
birth.
But more importantly, since they've been a public figure, when that kind of a person goes into a gay space, they're inundated with people. Like they are not ostracized in any kind of way.
But they were talking about sleeping. That's the thing.
I'm not saying from a dating standpoint, but from a gay spaces perspective, because this was the other part of the conversation was.
But there's a this and that though. But it's true. But you can't deny the other part, which is the dating portion, which is what they were referring to, which is why they date more DL part. We're not talking about necessarily the gay spaces, but we're just talking about the opportunity to date within the space as well too. And also, we're at a different level. I can't imagine having to navigate a room of people and try to figure out who's in it because of who I am and who's in it because of me. It's kind of like when we've talked about dating outside the race and having those conversations like, are you with me because I'm Black or are you with me because of who I am? That's a whole other level of thing that you have to, that's part of the conversation that none of us here on this podcast have to deal with.
You know what? I don't give a damn. I really don't. We can move on. I love you, boo. I love you, and I appreciate your sentiments, but I really don't give a damn.
I'm with you. That's funny. That was funny as shit. I need to write this down. This might be my moment of the year. Hold on. Don't give a damn.
I really don't. Just like I don't give a damn about that traitor shit we were talking about earlier. Like, vote my ass out. I'm done. I'm done with this conversation. Can we move on, please?
That was
earmarking
hilarious.
episode 374.
You know what? I don't give a damn. That was great.
And it was the face he gave with it,
really
too.
Was. I thought you were about to say something like thought-provoking,
Right.
You know, like...
Ain't no Maya Angelou over here. Close the book. This is Toni Morrison, bitch.
Aunties, do you give a damn about the SCOTUS conversion therapy ruling that they came down with today? 8-1 at that, where it's stating that, and it's actually going to go back to the lower courts.
Yeah.
So it might be able to kind of be upheld again.
For ratified, yeah.
Or I think they have to go back to the lower courts to kind of reassess. And let's see here, and I had it up somewhere, and I was scrolling. But ultimately, what it is saying overwhelmingly sided with a Christian therapist rejecting a Colorado law that prohibited mental health professionals from trying to change the sexual orientation or gender identity of LGBTQ minors. And so this decision has implications for more than 20 other states that have similar laws barring so-called conversion therapy, and is a major win for more of the conservative side here. The critics of major medical organizations say such therapy is ineffective and potentially dangerous for young people. But in its 8-1 decision, the court said the law, as implied to talk therapy, represented an egregious assault on free speech and the First Amendment.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I agree. I do give a damn about this, but I also feel like this is just another like rung of distraction politics that's happening. Yeah. You know, like this is the case that you guys are having a conversation about right now when we are fucking in a war. Like, and I know that they don't have any jurisdiction over, you know, like war acts. That should be like, you know, Congress or whatever. But like, there are so many other things that require our Supreme Justice's time that this is what they're spending their time on. It's just like, I don't get the fuck out of here with this bullshit.
I mean, I definitely care, right? I definitely care. I hate the idea of our youth being forced into something based off of their sexual orientation and who they're into. That scares the living daylights out of me. I mean, as 3 queer Black men who've had to come out and we've had the opportunity to do it on our own terms, I could not imagine being forced to try to be even deeper in the closet, to go the opposite direction at that age, right? And I could just only imagine mentally how that fucks you even worse, and how you see and perceive the world and how you move about the world as well too. And that just only is going to just increase just even the internal homophobia that I mentioned earlier, you know, with the whole EJ conversation as well, that exists in the community as well too, you know. So it makes me really sad. And it's something that I'm honestly, I think I'm going to pay a lot more close attention to, just because I want to make sure to use my platform and my voice in any way I can to make sure that this is not something that is forgotten about, because they're gonna keep pushing it. So
it's crazy to me. Sorry, it's just crazy to me that like there's so much attention that's being put on this kind of bullshit that's not put on fucking pedophiles. Like, why are we spending? Why are our legal system, our justice system, spending time on things that are inconsequential on a mass scale? Now, I don't mean to minimize the impact that it has on an individual basis, but are inconsequential to the other things that we know are glaring, like gun control, like pedophiles in our churches that are getting protections, like all this other kind of like. Really?
What is we doing? All right. I part of this, and maybe I just need to do more reading up on this. I struggle. If you're a therapist, don't you have the option of saying, yes, I will or won't take this client on? If you personally don't agree that a person can love who they love and they are who they are, why would you even take the case on then? Wouldn't that just be your freedom of speech right then and there?
Why are you blurring the lines? It's a gateway to allow the parents to make the decision for their kids. That's
for sure. But it's just like, you know, it's just I don't get why this person initially sued, because you shouldn't have taken that case on. Like, you have the option as an employee to take this on or not. And then I struggle with the thought of just blurring the lines of work and your personal beliefs. And I get that, yes, some of your personal beliefs bleed through, especially as a therapist, your biases and things like that. But your goal is supposed to kind of be non-biased in that situation, one way or the other. They're explaining to you their feelings and things like that, and you're giving them the best expert advice from readings and, you know, life skills, blah, blah, blah. And it shouldn't be trying to steer a person one way or the other based on, if you know, those personal deep rooted beliefs,
those biases.
So that's those are the parts of just like this case that has confused me deeply, that it got this far to even be able to go to the Supreme Court, that I'm not seeing written up in any of the articles and things like that. And I'm like, maybe I'm missing something. But from the jump, if you don't agree with the said minor being gay, don't be their therapist. You can say, I'm sorry, this is not my expertise. This is not my wheelhouse. I'm not comfortable taking it because I don't believe in that, whatever it may be. So to me, it almost feels like you want to do harm now. And we need to address that from jump. Like, who are you now to want to do harm to another person like this, especially in therapy, where it's so emotionally and mentally, like, you know, abusive potentially.
Yeah.
So that's the part where I get a damn so badly about.
There's a vulnerability that's attached to kind of therapy, because you're, you know, especially if you're, you know, someone that's not a full-fledged adult, you are, you know, your life experience is trained to listen to the adults that are around you
in the room.
Yeah. And a lot of the adults in the room have agendas that they're pushing that might not necessarily be in alignment with what's best for you.
Exactly.
And that this completely is an affront to that particular concept.
So that needs to be the narrative.
Therapy is not supposed to be pushing a particular agenda.
Exactly.
Therapy should be about human well-being on an individual basis, not based on societal norms.
And so if you can't uphold that as a therapist, you need to check your degree, because I'm sure you're supposed to be like, hold on, I'm here for the greater good of humanity. But then B, if you feel like you can't, at least be the adult and say, I am not taking this person on, because I think I will be doing more harm than good. And that frustrates the shit out of me. So, and we'll end here. Aunties, do you give a damn about Kristi Noem's husband being a crossdresser?
Bitch, that shit took me the fuck.
I give a whole damn. I give a whole damn.
Bitch.
He gonna be on the next Druski skit,
baby.
And I want to see that.
Whole ass damn. Drag him and the whole family for filth.
It's crazy because it's always the people that just protest too much.
Yeah.
It's always them people.
And she knew.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, we're blindsided. Oh, no, you weren't.
No, you knew. Well, and also there was a comment mentioned that she had said to someone that she thought her husband was gay. Like, and there was receipts already that said that she knew that her husband was gay. I explained why she looked like a drag queen.
Amen. I wouldn't even say that. That's being a disservice to drag queens across the world. That's why she looked like a Muppet baby or some shit.
They don't look that
bad. Right.
Well, some of them
I'd even take Mikey Meek's makeup above hers.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I saw that shit. I was like, sounds about right.
This is like, and the killer part about it is no one was surprised.
No one.
No, not a single solid. Maybe she was, but
no, she wasn't.
No one else. Exactly. No one was surprised.
Oh wait.
Like that,
oh my God.
The big titty crew.
My husband.
Oh. Never. Okay, girl. Bye. Mm-hmm. But that's what you get, ho. Play around if you want to. Play around if you want to.
I honestly love us because as the world is on a fire, we somehow find a way to humor on, whether it's wig play, whether it's shit that's going on. We will find a way to just keep on keeping on.
Yeah. Just keep on keeping on. Community, let us know what you do and don't give a damn this week out of all these, topics. And we haven't done SU Aunties in a while. We know we have a couple in the queue, so we'll get back to that eventually as well. But we need some more, so send those to AYA@minorityReport.com or DM us or send it to the T line. And what's the T line number, boo?
T line. It's 844-TEALINE. Dial that on their little digits, or it's 844-832-5463.
Love it. And send us some for the live episode. Maybe you'll be able to hear your lovely voice on that. So yes, send us more SU Aunties so we can bring that segment back. I kind of miss it. So, anything else on your hearts and minds before we get on out of here?
I better not say another word because we'll be talking for another 30 minutes.
All right. No. Community, go check out all the Drag Race stuff, and we'll find out the winner here soon too. So go check that out. That's already out there. And wash your hands, your legs, and your ass, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, y'all.